Hello, this is my first time doing podfic, so it might sound a little off, and sorry for all the background noise. So, I haven't really asked the author if I could read this, but I really don't know how to. But if they contact me and tell me to take it down, I will immediately. So, anyway, this book is called 9 Days in Coventry by Sita_Z. This is a time travel de-aged fic kind of. It's de-aging of Draco and it's drarry. So yeah, let's get into it. When Draco was 5 years old, he threw a tantrum. That in itself wasn't unusual. Draco often threw tantrums because it generally got him what he wanted. Even better, sometimes Mommy would come in and ask Dobby what the commotion was about. Then she would cuddle Draco and kiss him and tell Dobby to do a better job, all of which was good. This time, however, she did not come in, much to Draco's disappointment. They were expecting the minister for dinner, and Draco was to wear his dress robes and be on his best behavior. Dobby said so, and even Draco's tantrums would not change the fact that he had to sit quietly, mind his manners, and eat his caviar cocktail and his foreign gas, even though they tasted like snot and yuck. But I want to wear the burgundy robes. Draco rattled on the door of his wardrobe, trying to pull it open. The burgundy robes with the silver stars. Little Master is to wear the black robes, Dobby said, after hexing the wardrobe shut like the stupid, mean elf that he was. Mistress Narcissa said so. Little Master is to be a good boy and not scream and mess up his hair like that. Draco screamed a little less. He did not want to mess up his hair. I don't want to go to dinner. I want to play Yule Ball. Dobby glanced nervously over his shoulders. Father said that boys don't play Yule Ball, and they certainly didn't dress in frilly girls' robes for the occasion. Harry Potter is always been a good boy, Dobby said suddenly. Harry Potter never screams and carries on when he is told to wear his dress robes. Draco stopped screaming. He heard that name Harry Potter before. Mummy and Father got a weird looks on their faces when he was mentioned. So he must be important. Draco imagined him some old ministry wizard, grey-bearded and slow and boring. Harry Potter is a boy? Like me? A very good boy, he said. He said, Harry Potter always does as he's told. And I do as I'm told? Draco said. Harry Potter always puts on his dress robes. Draco put on his dress robes. Is Harry Potter coming to dinner? Not today, Dobby said, and smiled, looking rather relieved. But if little Master is a good boy and behaves for poor old Dobby, Dobby will tell him all about Harry Potter's great deeds. I'll be a good boy, Draco promises. Is my hair all messed up? Dobby smoothed down the wayward strands that had fallen into Draco's forehead. No, he said, little Master's looking very good. Master and Mistress will be happy, and if Harry Potter was here, he would love to be little Master's friend. Yeah? Draco said. What's great deeds? Dobby. Well, little Master Dobby. Well, we'll tell little Master after dinner. If little Master behaves and doesn't spit his caviar into the pumpkin juice again. Harry Potter never. Yeah, Draco said. And he'll be my friend? Dobby's eyes softened a little. Dobby is sure Little Master and Harry Potter will become great friends when Little Master goes to Hogwarts. Draco nodded. Yeah, we will. I knew that. What does he look like? Dobby brightened. Harry Potter is a very good-looking boy. Old Dobby will tell Little Master all about him. Draco behaved like a perfect, pure-blooded, gentle wizard that night. That was what Mommy said anyway. Dobby kept his promise and told him all about Harry Potter. a tall, handsome boy with raven hair, striking green eyes, and a lightning scar, who led his friends into great adventures and was the kindest and bravest person anyone could imagine. Draco felt strange flutters in his belly when he thought about meeting the real Harry Potter for the first time. He thought he thought about it a lot. Sometimes he imagined Harry Potter to be there when he played in his rooms or did his schoolwork under the watchful eye of his tutors. They were never boring with Harry Potter around. And then a strange thing happened. Draco was alone, frightened, in a place he didn't know. Aurors came and talked to him, but father said that Aurors were not to be trusted. Ministry puppies, he called them. And although Draco didn't know what that meant, he knew it wasn't good. The Aurors took him to another place filled with more strangers and ministry puppets. Mr. Potter, one of them said. That's the boy? Draco looked up at the man with untidy black hair, green eyes behind the stupid round glasses. A man with a lightning scar. A man who was grown up and boring and would never, ever be Draco's friend. Hi, the man said and smiled stupidly, like Draco's tutor smiled when he'd done well in his spelling exercises. I'm Harry. Is it okay if I call you Draco? No, Draco said and began to cry. Go away. I hate you. The man's eyes widened, and one of the Aurors laughed. Draco had never in his entire life felt such rage as he did in that moment. When Harry was 5 years old, he threw a tantrum. That in itself was quite unusual. Harry never threw tantrums. On the day, however, he was tired and his head felt heavy and his nose itched, and he really, really did not want to go into the cupboard. It was hot and stuffy in there, and he knew his headache would get even worse. I can sleep on the couch, he yelled. Why can't I sleep out here on the couch? Aunt Petunia made her lips go in a thin line. She sniffed, the way she did when she reached the end of her tether, and went into the kitchen to get a wooden spoon. But when she drew back to whack Harry on the bum, the wooden spoon seemed to gain life of its own. It flipped around and began to whack the couch pillows. Whop, whoop, whop. Dudley gagged and gaped and laughed, and Aunt Petunia gasped in fright. So did Harry. He ran for his cupboard and huddled under the sleeping bag of his cot. Even though it was hot and stuffy, he was all alone in there. Being alone was good. Really, being alone meant he couldn't scare anyone with his freakery. When he was alone, no one would punish him for making fun things happen or frighten his aunt out of her wits. The night Petunia decided Harry would no longer be allowed at the dinner tables. I can't eat when I have to look at him, she said. I can't forget that I'm not safe in my own home. It was this incident Harry often used when he met a new family. Well, this sanitized version anyway. He left out the fact that the spoon had been meant to hit him, that, as he knew now, was child abuse, and certainly not appropriate for light-hearted anecdotes. The image of Aunt Petunia whipping the couch, however, it was funny enough to put people at ease, and it involved telekinetic activity, which was common enough in children's accidental magic and very frightening for anyone who didn't know what was going on. It was like a movie, the mother from Muggleborn had told him once. Carrie, you know, the pig's blood? You know, with the pig's blood? After Harry had assured them that their daughter would not lay waste to an entire school with her newfound powers, the family took the news rather well. Others were not so easy to handle. The more academically inclined wanted explanation, sometimes more than Harry was prepared to give. which was when he referred them to Hermione. Worst in his experience were the overly religious families, their fears proven the hardest to overcome, and in some cases, even the best efforts weren't quite enough. Rehoming muggles was the very last resort, and only done when the child's safety was in danger, which sadly enough did happen. Over the years, Harry had learned how to handle these situations, how to talk to traumatized kids who believed themselves possessed by the devil, who, in some cases, had been thrown out of their homes by parents who believed they were sheltering the devil. Harry was good with kids. Even Ron, who had been less than happy about Harry quitting Auror training, agreed that he did well as a family liaison officer. And so, when Ron informed him that D.A. Draco Malfoy had been found in Nocturnal Alley, he agreed to act as an emergency guardian. There's no one else we can ask, Ron says. His mom's in St. Mungo's, and he doesn't really have any other living relatives. Well, there's Andromeda, but she is petty, and we don't know the risk involved. Whoever got him here in the first place might come to take him again. It was Hagrid who, in a lucky turn of events, had spotted the young boy, as he'd been on the hunt for a flesh-eating slug repellent. Some shady folks talking to him, he told the Aurors, no, not a place for a kid. It's not. Didn't even realize it was young Malfoy they were trying to lure into the shops. Just grabbed I'm out of here. There. Sorry, I'm really bad at this. The boy didn't seem too keen on talking to any of the Aurors, or so Ron said, but Harry knew how to approach a reluctant youngster. He was confident he could handle a 5-year-old, even if the 5-year-old was Draco Lucius Malfoy. The past didn't matter. A lonely child in a desperate situation needed help. And Harry even considered turning Ron down or suggesting a different flow. It was his job and he was going to do it. The boy looked pitiful enough when Harry first laid eyes on him. Wrapped in ministry-issued blanket, his blonde hair tousled, his eyes red from crying. Harry had seen dozens of kids in similar situations, alone, frightened, distraught, of adults surrounding him, and knew that straightforward approach usually worked best. He knelt down to the boy's eye level and smiled. "Hi, I'm Harry. Is it okay if I called you Draco?" The boy's grey eyes filled with fresh tears. He glared at Harry, an expression of sudden, inexplicable anger, as he finally spotted the person responsible for his misfortune. "No," he sobbed. "Go away. I hate you." Ron laughed, and Harry shot him a glare over his shoulder to shut up. Some kids reacted like this, unable to process their strong emotions and defaulting to anger, and Draco had always been high-strung to put it mildly. "I'm sure you're wondering what's going on," he continued, turning back to the boy. "How about we have a cup of hot chocolate and I explain?" "No." "But don't you want to?" "No. Go away." "Draco, I'm sure you—" "I said go away," Draco screeched before dropping onto the floor and pulling the blanket over his head. "Go away, go away, go away, go away." Harry heard his muffled voice rising in pitch as he began to cry anew. "I hate you." One of the senior Aurors moved forward. "Looks like the brat needs some good talking to. Don't worry, Mr. Potter. I'll take him in hand." "You will do no such thing," Harry snapped. The Auror who had been about to grab the blanket stopped in mid-movement. "That's Draco Malfoy, Mr. Potter, a little boy who's been scared out of his mind." Harry cut him off before he could find his sentence. "The DMLE called me in as an emergency guardian, and I'll thank you for not interfering with my job. Now, if that's all, if that's all, could you give us some space? I'm sure Draco and I can handle the situation just fine. The oars did move away after that. All Ron, all but Ron, who had put his hand on Harry's shoulder. No one's trying to tell you how to do your job, mate. He does need to go to the safe house tonight, though. We don't need him exposed to any more people. I know, Harry said in a softer tone. He was familiar with the procedure, if not overly so. He'd taken a kid to a safe house only once, and it was very beginning of his career. The young teen had witnessed criminal activity during war, which made her a target for certain Death Eaters still on the loose. Harry had spent 5 weeks in Shetland with a small, mostly silent 12-year-old who only began to smile when he took her to see horses nearby. He'd gone to the paddock every day after that, with Harry keeping his wand ready and his guard up while Emma petted the ponies and sometimes cried into their shaggy manes. Eventually, the Death Eaters in questions were caught and Emma returned to her family. With Draco, things weren't as straightforward. They didn't know who was after him, only that it was very likely someone from Wizarding Britain, someone who had been affected by the war, which means that the Shetland house safe, a lovely cottage in a small wizarding village, was out. Going Muggle was by far the safer option. I'll be your secret keeper, Ron said quietly. We need a healer to drop by regularly to monitor him and determine what exactly has been done to him. Whittleborn, Harry asked. She's been the one to cast Verdi's serum. Noman confirming that yes, the little boy Hagrid had found was indeed Draco Malfoy. Technically 24 years old. Ron shook his head. Should be someone with a background in aging spells. Well, we'll let you know. The blanket on the floor moved a little, revealing a pair of tearfully grey eyes with a small mouth arched in the front. I'm not going away with him. I want to go home with Mommy and Dobby and Father. Harry considered him for a moment. How about a deal, Draco? What do you think? Draco nodded his eyes at him. What deal? You come with me and I teach you a spell, any spell, as long as it's safe, he added hurriedly, remembering the types of spells Draco might have witnessed at home. I don't have a wand, Draco said contemptuously. You can't cast without a wand. Are you stupid? No, Harry said mildly. You'll have to borrow my wand then. Your wand? His eyes widened a little, just enough for Harry to know that the bait had been taken. Yes, my wand, Harry said. If Draco turned his hair green or set curtains afire, well, they'd deal with it. Either option was preferable to having to drag a screaming, kicking 5-year-old out of the ministry to the operation points. Draco got up, blanket clutched firmly to his chest. Well, he asked, his little pointed chin raised, voice trembling. Are you coming or what? I'm coming, Draco said, and rolled his eyes, wrong-mouthed. Good luck. Luck was probably the last thing he needed right now. Coventry had a very small wizarding community, only a few families scattered here and there, and occasionally Muggle-born living with their relatives. This, as well as its virtual rural atmosphere, made it a perfect location for a safe house hiding in plain sight. Harry had never used 77 Minton Road before, but he was familiar with the setup. A simple 2-story house with a small back garden equipped with subtle notice-me-not charm, so the neighbors never wondered for too long. Why the owners were hardly ever home. It wasn't the cottage in the Shetland, but it would do. I hate that name. Hopefully, whoever was after Malfoy would not expect him to be hiding in such an unmagical, entirely muggle surrounding. Unwilling to risk detection, Harry operated them straight into the dark living room. Draco had done as he had asked and held his arm without letting go. I know how to side along. I'm not a baby. Even so, he'd not given up his blanket. He still didn't, clutching it to his chest like a lifeline. He watched Harry switch on the light. The place looked like an IKEA advert brought to life, down to the flat screen TV perched on the gleaming white console, the plain blue couch, the polyester carpet, the art prints on the wall. All of it was as muggle as it could be. Simple, functional, and very much lacking any sort of magic. Draco looked terrified. "It's okay," Harry said. "We're safe here. Don't worry. It's a muggle place, I know, but..." Draco's eyes widened. "I want to go back." "We can't take me back now. I want to go back." The boy seemed close to panicking. Harry knelt down in front of him, carefully tugging down the blanket Draco was hiding behind. "Draco, I'm sorry, but we can't go back. It's not safe where we come from. And we have to stay here for now. I promise you, it's nothing's bad's gonna happen. The muggles will come in. They kill people with cars." "Cars?" Harry blinked, momentarily stumped. "Do you know what a car is, Draco?" "Of course I do," he glared at him. "It's like a dragon, but it has wheels and runs people over. That's..." "Draco, I promise you." Harry shook his head. "Draco, I promise you, you're safe here. There's no one here to do here but you and me, and..." "But what if muggles come back? They kill me with their cars and eat me." Harry wanted to laugh, but not for the genuine horror he saw on Draco's face. It wasn't fair to make fun of a 5-year-old who took his parents' words at face value. It was only natural. "Draco, muggles are just people like you and me. They don't, you know, they don't. You wouldn't want to eat people, would you?" Draco shook his head. "See? The muggles don't want to eat you either, but they burn people," Draco whispered. "In their fireplaces, like meat pies. Father says so." Harry could imagine. He could see Lucius filling his son's ears with tales of times long past, and the boy trying to make sense of what he'd been told. It wasn't as if hadn't encountered it before. Children firmly believing their parents' twisted views on reality and insisted on it even when all evidence pointed towards the contrary. Harry knew the rational arguments led exactly nowhere. Not if the brainwashing was so deeply ingrained. And right now he just needed Draco to feel safe. Well, the doors are warded, and I know really good protective spells. I won't let anyone hurt you." Draco didn't look convinced. "But they're mean. I don't like you, but you're mean. I don't like you." Harry could see that this was the truth. Draco had taken immense dislike to him the moment he laid the eyes on each other, and now stared at him, his eyes brimming with resentment. Sorry, I'm really bad at this. He sat down on the carpet, hoping to appear less threatening. "Why not? I like you, and I'd like for us to be friends." "I don't want to be your friend," Draco said, turning away. Harry could hear the tears gathering in his voice. "You're mean and old and you're not Harry Potter." Harry blinked, not expecting that one last bit. "I'm not?" "No, I want to go back. Take me back to my mommy." "Draco, I'm sorry, but I can't. We have to stay here now." "How about I teach you that spell?" "I want to go back." Draco grabbed the closest object available, which happened to be the TV remote, and threw it with all his might. It bounced off Harry's shoulder and hit the coffee table. "Take me back." Take me back, take me back, take me back. Harry winced at the volume. Draco, I can't. Draco's voice rose in a screech of pure rage. He looked around, presumably to find something else to throw. When nothing came handy, he collapsed on the floor and pulled the blanket over his head and began to kick and scream. One of his feet hitting the coffee table, toppling over the little decorative vase. Draco, I hate you! Draco's face emerged on the blanket, red streaked with tears. I hate you, filthy mumplot. Harry found realization hit the moment later. He forced himself to take a deep breath. Just a 5-year-old scared out of his mind, yelling at him would lead exactly nowhere. That's not a nice word, Draco. I don't want you. Mumplot, Draco screamed, and Harry could have kicked himself. Mumplot, you're a mumplot, your family are mumplot, your father's going to come and hex you. See if he doesn't. And I hate your scar, your face, your stupid glasses. Harry sighed and got to his feet. That's enough, Draco. You need to calm down. No, you're not. No, you're not my mommy. You can't tell me what to do. Well, there seems to be nothing for it. If it wasn't as if he could get any worse. Bending down, Harry grabbed the boy around the waist and lifted him under one arm. I think you're very tired, Draco. It's best if you go to bed. We can talk again tomorrow. No, let me go. Draco screamed and kicked and even tried to bite. Even so, Harry managed to carry him upstairs into one of the bedrooms without catching a flailing foot to the face. Look, there's dragons on the sheets. Tiny but rather sharp teeth sank painfully into his wrist. Let me go, you old mumplot, you poop face. Harry did, dumping him into the bed rather unceremoniously. There, he said, not quite as kindly as he meant to. His arm throbbed something fierce. Biting is naughty, Draco. You know that, don't you? You filthy mumplot. I know, Harry said, feeling his educational ambergris rapidly slipping down the drain. Sarcasm did not work on a 5-year-old, not even this one, but Harry was only human, and his arm hurt. Bedtime now, Draco. I'm not tired, Draco bellowed, grabbing one of the pillows and hurling it across the room. I'm not sleeping here. I want to sleep in my bedroom, and I want Merlin. I want Dobby to read me a story. I can read you a story, Harry offered, and winced as the nightlight came flying his way. No throwing things, that's naughty, and don't pull out plugs. No way. Go away. Go away, go away, go away. Okay, Harry raised his hands. Okay, I'm going, don't. He barely managed to duck as a book, Guess How Much I Love You, sailed past his head. Go away. Harry quickly closed the door. Something hit the wood with a dull thump. Another book, Harry surmised. Draco seemed to have run out of things to throw. After that, he saw no need having successfully vanquished the enemy. A moment's silence ensued, followed by quiet sniffling sobs. Harry hesitated. His instinct told him to go in there and try to offer comfort to the scared child. This was Draco Malfoy, however. Even at 5 years old, he seemed to hold a grudge, like a niffler gallant. Most likely Harry's return would only spark another full-blown tantrum. Better not risk it. Now, anyway, Harry cast a surveillance charm on the door, one that would alert him if Draco was in any danger or discomfort. He used it before with younger charges, although none of them had been as young or as combative as little Draco Malfoy. Well, the house was warded to be safe, and with a 5-year-old, and what could a 5-year-old get up to, really? Ignoring his slight misgivings, Harry turned away and began to explore the rest of the house. There would be enough time to sort things out in the morning. This was my first time reading, as I already said in the intro. I hope you liked it. I'm sorry for all the stuttering and stuff, because whenever I read for a long period of time, my S's start to blur together, and it's really hard for me to say stuff. But I'm reading these to like practice my reading, so I hope I don't get like copyrighted or anything. If they ask me to take it down, I will. But I take suggestions. I'll continue reading this book if you guys like it. I really don't know. But anyway, bye. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed it.